This video is about converting from a one-piece clutch cover to a two-piece clutch cover on a KTM RFS engine, as you typically find on your EXCs. And the two-piece clutch covers were typically found on the 6-day KTM EXCs, and they were used to be able to access the clutch plates more easily and service them without having to remove all the ancillaries like the kickstarter and the brake pedal before you could do any maintenance. So this is the single piece unit, and they're slightly thinner than a two-piece unit, and they're thinner in this area here, in this part. So you'll see that this unit is thicker here in this section, presumably to increase oil capacity. But as a result of that, the main difference between the two clutch covers is that you have to fit a spacer, and that spacer is this part number. So you'll need to order that. And that spacer fits here on the clutch cover. And the clutch cover part number is here, but I'll put that in the description below. There you go. Now the inner clutch cover, the silver part, is readily available from the KTM dealers. The outer clutch cover in the billet form is no longer available, and you can still buy the cast version, I believe, but if you want the billet version, which is again slightly more oil capacity than the cast version, then you'll need to buy this unit as an aftermarket part, but they're not typically advertised for the earlier sort of early 2000s RFS engine for the EXCs. They're currently being sold on eBay to fit the ATV quad bike version of the KTM that use the RFS engine, and I believe they used those RFS engines from about 2008 to 2009. They were subsequently superseded up to about 2011, 2012 with a later model engine. So you want the earlier model engine cover for an RFS engined ATV vehicle, if you're, or quad bike, KTM quad bike, if you're looking for that. There are other quad bikes that have used the RFS engine, and there may be some crossover in terms of finding parts off of those bikes if you're wanting to fit a two-piece clutch cover assembly to your early KTM EXC and are unable to find aftermarket parts for it, or even original KTM parts, because they're no longer listed in the KTM parts lists, but they certainly are out there if you realise that the parts are presently being listed under the quad bikes, KTM quad bikes. So the only other part that you'll need to buy will be a gasket that fits between the inner and outer clutch covers. That fits into the groove on the outer clutch cover, and these are made to the later specification outer clutch covers that have a groove in them, as opposed to carrying the paper gasket of the earlier versions. So these are the rubber O-ring type. And that's about all that you need to bear in mind. That and this spacer, and then you also need to buy just a standard gasket. That's the same between the two clutch covers. So they're currently available without any problem. So that's all you need to do if you want to convert your bike to a two-piece clutch cover.